opening File Explorer, you can point at it on the taskbar and just click on it. But I didn't realize this. You can also hold the Windows key down and hit the letter E, so you can use the keyboard to open it. And I didn't know that till I started putting this together. So I've already learned something. But either way, open up File Explorer. And what I want to do, let's see if I can find that. Oh my goodness. Okay. See if yeah, here's something. Well, there's nothing in it. Very good. Nothing there. Store files. There we go. I wanted to get a file because on this sheet, the next thing it talks about is using File Explorer. A lot of people don't, when they went to Windows 11, they said, what happened to my ribbon that was in Windows 10? It isn't there anymore. They took it away from us. And they replaced the ribbon with icons. And all these icons across the top of this. The first one is new. And I've got I clipped this out and put it in my handout. And I've got each of these numbered. So what happens when you click on new? Oh, I don't know if you remember Windows 10, but when they came out with the ribbon, a lot of people fussed about the ribbon because it used to be just words at the top. And all of a sudden, this ribbon, you had to figure out where things were. So with Windows 10, you went through a learning curve. You didn't catch on to where everything was to begin with. And it took you a while, and then you got used to the ribbon. So my suggestion is when you go to Windows 11, learn how to use what's there. And the only way you do it is you keep a reference of what each of these do. And after you get used to them, you don't think about it anymore. You just go to the one you need. The command. The new command, you can make a new folder. So if you wanted a new folder, it's going to put it inside of this folder. See something I want to try and do here for me. Okay. All right, that makes it better. I'm going to click on new again. And if I click on folder, then what happens over here, I've got a new folder, and inside it says new folder, but notice it's in blue. So it's highlighted. That means if you start typing with a name, whatever name you give it is going to be given to this folder. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type the word junk. So later on, when I come back to this, I can go back and clean it up a little bit. And then once I get the word, I hit enter, and there it is, my new folder. Now, to begin with, there's nothing in it because I just created it. So this is where I start going and putting things in it. So we come to the second symbol, number 2. Those are scissors. If you point at it, it tells you what it is. So you really don't have to look it up. It's cut. Does anybody know the shortcut for cut? No, Windows key and the letter X.
Yes.
Hold the Windows key down and hit X. And you get the cut command. So you first have to highlight something. So I'm going to go to this last one and click on it. And notice cuts there. So I'm going to click on cut. Now keep your eyes on the last thing I've got. Keep your eyes on this right here when I click on cut. Well, it didn't do it. It's not going to do it till I go to the junk folder. And now I open the junk folder. And notice this is 1, 2, 3, number 4 is highlighted. And it says what? Paste. And if you look at it, it's a clipboard. And to me, it looks like a little piece of paper in front of it. That's what's on the clipboard. So if I click on paste, it's going to put that file here. But if I go back to store files, that last thing isn't there anymore because I cut it out. All right, now let's go to the second one from the bottom. Well, let's go to the last one, store class enrollment. If I highlight it, notice everything's lit up except what? Paste, because what was in paste, I pasted it in a folder. So it used it. Here, I'm going to go to the third one, which says copy. So what it's going to do is it's going to make a copy of it, put it on the clipboard. Does anybody know the shortcut for copy?
Control-C.
The Windows key. Oh, it's Control. The previous one was, I'm sorry. Control X is cut. Control C is copy. And Control V is paste. Those are keyboard shortcuts. But I'm going to click on the icon to copy it. Notice what happened when I copied it. The clipboard, the paste, instead of being grayed out, it's now lit up because I just put something on the clipboard. So I'm going to go back to junk, open up junk, and I'm going to click on paste. And notice it's there, but if I go back to store files, everybody see where I'm pointing now? Pointing at store files. If I click on that, that file is still here because I didn't cut it, I copied it and pasted it in that other folder. Now, the next one, it's called rename. So I've got junk highlighted. So if I click on that icon right there, notice junk is highlighted again. It's in, blue background. The letters are white. If I start typing, it's going to replace the word junk. So I'm going to type good stuff. It isn't, but I'm just want to show you that's how I change names. I hit enter, and notice what happened to it. You don't have to do this anymore. It automatically puts all your folders and all your files in alphabetical order. Unless you change it. The next thing, right here, number 6. If you look down at my instructions, it doesn't have anything there. That's a whole different topic. And I don't want to get into that right now because you got to talk about sharing. And if you share, just a good example. When I first got my new laptop at home, everything was on my old laptop, my Windows 10 laptop. So I use Google Chrome to search. So I went in and I installed Google on my new computer. And then I went to my old computer, and in Google or in Chrome, I said, share it. And I went over to the new one and said, share it. And all of a sudden, all of my favorites came up exactly where they were on the old computer, on the new computer. So I didn't have to copy them. They all just came up right where they were on the other one. Didn't have to reorganize them. And then I started working, and I found out if you delete a favorite on this computer, and I'm sharing with the other computer at home, it deletes it there. And I wanted to leave it there. So I went back and stopped sharing. Because once I got everything over, I didn't want to share anymore because I'd use them for different things. But like I said, that's a different topic. The next one is delete. If you highlight something and there's nothing here I really want to delete. So I'm trying to think. Nope. I don't know if there's anything in Zoom. Let's see. Tech Night 3/14/22. All right. If I highlight that, I just opened it. Dang it. Didn't want to open it. Okay. If that's highlighted and I want to get rid of it, I click on the trash can to delete it. And it's deleted it. Did I want to do that? Does anybody know how to get it back?
Go to the trash can.
Go to the trash can. If it's on the computer, it should be in the trash can right there, or a recycle bin. Goes to the recycle bin. And here's the recycle bin. And let's see, what did I delete?
That's it. There, second to the bottom.
Tech Night, yeah, right there. So what I do is I highlight it, and in this, right, refresh, no, up desktop. Oh, wait a minute. Sort, view, empty, recycled. Oh, now, restore what? This is the heading for the recycle bin. Right there, restore the selected items. I've selected one item. So I'll restore it. What I really need to do is come in here and delete all this stuff. I let my recycle bin, I don't know. I might look at it once or twice a year and clean it out. Because if I put something there, I don't want it anymore. I need to go back to where I was though. Where was I? I was in what? Let's see. Can I go up and get back there? Nope.
File Explorer.
Nope. Where was I? Oh, I was in Zoom. No.
You were in your.
You were in OneDrive CKCS Lab.
OneDrive CKCS Lab.
Where the Zoom folder.
That's where the Zoom folder is. Oh, here it is. I was in store files. So I'm back to where I was.
And it's there too.
Yes. So it restored Let me see. Well. Nope. I said restore it. Oh, okay. Instructions and other doc files.
It was,
Nope. Open up, please. Nope. I can't remember. This is what happens when you get older. Something you said 5 minutes ago, you can't remember, right? But when I went in and had my Medicare checkup 2 months ago, she told me to remember sock, blue, and chest. So I've got to remember those for next year, because if she asks me the same words, I'm going to fuss at her. I say, you can't even get original.
If you go back to Zoom folder, that's where Tech Night went.
That's where what?
there it is, right there.
Right
There
there
it
at the
is.
bottom. Okay. Yep. All right. Now, the next thing here at the top. The reason why it sorts things the way it does, I'm going to go back. Let me see. This was Zoom, right? Okay. I can go to sort. And I can designate how it sorts things. So if I want to sort it by name in ascending order, when I add a new file or a new folder, that's how it decides to place it. For me, that's how I leave it. I don't change that because I think in ascending order, alphabetically or numerically. It will put numbers first. If you start out a file with a number or a folder with a number, the numbers will go first, and then the letters. You can do it descending, the date it was modified. You can, I've never used group by, but you can do it. You can group by name, status, date modified, date created. So there's all these different ways of sorting it. The next thing here is view. And this is where you got to be careful. View. I want extra large icons. So where do I go? Go to pictures. Let's see, pictures. I'm looking for something. Why not? Let's get, oh, I know, okay. This is from last fall. So, the adults, we went to France, to our sister city, which is Deauville, France. But this thing under view, I've got large icons. When I go to pictures, I usually change this to what? Extra large icons. Then I can scroll through my pictures. And the graveyard shots as we were in the American graveyard. What is it, at Normandy? Yep. We actually got soldiers from Kentucky and went around and put flowers on their graves. There were about 35, 40 adults, and we each had about 4 people to do this for. And every time I go there, I shed tears. It's just, I mean, I've seen pictures of it for years, but when you walk through it, to me, it's overpowering. And then we went to one of the places where they had to scale up the cliff. And I don't know if you can see in this, these are bunkers, machine gun bunkers for the Germans. As soon as our soldiers came up over the edge, they were just mowing them down. I mean, it was 80 years D-Day in June this year. and we organized a celebration down at Kentucky Theater. And two gentlemen walked in real late. They were both in World War II. They were both 98 years old. Still moving, still walking, talking about what they did. But I just wanted to show you view. There's some other things with view. You can go to small icons. There you go. That's small icons. I can tell what all these pictures are now. But, you know, I'll change the view depending upon details. Right now, it's doing small icons. If I want to list, it'll list them all. It's in alphabetical order now, I think. I think it was that way anyway. Group by size. Now, I don't see anything. View.
Large ones to the top.
Details. Details. Out here at the size. They're in order by size. There might be a time where you're looking for a certain file that you think's a certain size. So I'm going to go back there and I'm going to show, and I'm just going to do, oh, wait a minute. Show, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing. Right? Yeah. View. Size. No, I'm not. Why didn't I get that before? Oh, list. That's why. You're not going to get some of these things depending upon how you display them. That's where I was. Under view, extra large icons. I like, to me, medium icons are okay. Unless I get into a picture folder and then I bump it up. Under view, there's all some other things that you can choose from. And they are navigation pane. That's this thing out here to the side. Over on the left. To me, that's the table of contents. That's called the navigation pane. I put a check mark in front of it because I want to see that. That's how I find a certain folder to go look for a certain file. Compact view means don't leave as much space between the lines. Condense it a little bit so it's all closer together. Try it. Item checkboxes. Okay, what are item checkboxes? Item checkboxes. When I point at something out to the side, there's this little square. It's called a checkbox. So what I do is if I point at the square, come down here somewhere else, point at the square, come over here somewhere else, point at a square. There is no rhyme nor reason why I'm checking these. But now, if I go up to copy, it's only going to copy the ones I put the check mark in. That's why they're called check boxes. So if I say copy, it'll put all of these on or on the what? The clipboard. And then you can paste them somewhere else. If you're trying to organize them, I wouldn't copy them, I'd cut them. Because if you leave them in the big file and you just copy and copy and copy, it's harder to find the files you haven't copied yet. So what I do when I'm organizing stuff like this, I'm just opening something. It's got to download it from the cloud. None of these are on my computer. There's a pointer on my computer to the cloud, And when I click on them, it's got to go to the cloud and download it. So now it's downloaded. That's the Eiffel Tower. We were on a river cruise for dinner last night. We were there. And I think it's just beautiful.
Say last night,
What?
said you were there last night.
Last night I was there in France.
Not last night.
Not last night.
My last night on the trip.
Closing ceremony.
Yeah. So, let's see, what else did I want? Oh, view. Show. File name extensions. That's something else I like to put a check mark next to. File name extensions. If you look in this folder, just about everything. You see if I can find a file name that's short enough where I can see it. Oh, here we go. This one right here at the bottom. It's got a dot in JPG. If you work with pictures, JPEGs or .jpg is the extension, is one of the extensions it will put on the end of a picture. I like to see those. .docx means it's a Word document. So I like to see the extensions. Some people don't. If I went back to view and on show, I clicked on file name extensions, they all go away. And that means everywhere, every file that I look at will not show an extension. If you get used to working with files, it's nice to see extensions. Oh, view. Show, I want extensions. Problem with this little drop down is once you click on it, it goes away. And you got to go back up to view and back down to show. And the last thing, I didn't realize I had a check mark there. It's hidden items. I do not check on this unless you know what you're doing. We had a teacher at Henry Clay that decided she was going to organize her computer a little bit better. She found all these hidden files and copied them. No. She cut them and put them in a folder called Files Not Used. Well, everything was fine until she came in the next morning and tried to start her computer. All those hidden files were files that the computer needed to run. And we worked on it for a couple hours and said, well, what we're going to have to do is give you another computer that is up and running already. And I got talking with her. I said, what did you do beforehand? And that's when she told me what she did. And I said, those are called system files. And if you show hidden files, you would see them. She put files in there that weren't hidden either. But what we had to do is just erase everything on the computer and start from scratch and rebuild it. Because that's the only way you're going to get everything back, except all the files she created. There's no way we get them. I felt for her.
Hope she learned her lesson though.
She did. Yeah. One of my best, we tell them, make sure your computer is plugged in. So one of the good friend teachers called me and says, my computer won't start, and it's plugged in. I went down, it was plugged into the extension cord, but the extension cord wasn't plugged in. So she was embarrassed. And for a while I kidded her about it. Then I stopped. Too much kidding can go wrong. All right, the next thing here. Oh, the 3 dots. 3 dots out here. I'm pointing at it. You click on it, it gives you more stuff. The first one is undo. This is where you have the command burn to disk, pin to quick access, select all, select none, invert your selection, properties, and options. Here. Let me come back. Oh, what happened? I somehow hit select all. Well, I don't want that. I want to select what? None. If I only had 15 files here, what I could do, say I had 15 files, and those 3 right there are the only 3 I did not want to move to another folder. What I could do is come up to the 3 dots and say invert selection. And what it will do is anything that's not selected will now be selected, and anything that's selected, those 3 squares, will not be selected. I'm inverting the whole thing. So notice, these aren't selected anymore. Now I could copy or cut and paste them into another folder. So those are nice, some nice little things. Burn to disk, select, how many you want, say burn it to disk.
Can you burn it to a flash drive? Is that a disk?
No, flash drive is not a disk. You have to copy and paste or cut and paste.
Okay.
Because you plug that in,
I forgot that it was even there anymore.
Yeah. you plug in
Yeah.
your thumb drive and it becomes, in essence, another storage place on your computer. So you have to treat it like it was another drive, which is how the computer looks at it.
Print icon. That says printing.
Well, now we're looking at files. If you open the file and it opens a program, like if I open a docx, it will open Word, and then you go up to file and down to print. But you can't print in I don't think you can. New. It's anywhere it would be in new. Okay, there's nothing here that allows you to print everything that's in this file or in this folder. I'm sure you can find something out on the internet where somebody's done it.
Well, if it sounds like a dumb question, it's because I've still got Windows 7 on my laptop.
Okay. Oh, that's a long
I
time
know,
ago.
I know.
I remember when XP came out.
Might as well keep it, because they're not gonna update
No.
this 10 beyond next year.
All right, the next thing on this handout, at the bottom of the page, is finding which version of Windows you got installed on your computer. And this is for Windows, this is really for Windows 11 people. But the same technique works for Windows 7, works for Windows 8, 8.5. What was the next one? XP?
XP.
No, it was after XP. 10? Something in between.
Was there Vista sometime?
Vista.
Yeah, the worst
Vista,
worst
yeah.
thing they ever came out with. Yep. I mean, you couldn't believe the comments online about Vista. There was nothing, I don't think there was anything good said about it. They missed the ballpark on that one. Well, anyway, this tells you the version and the latest build you have. At the bottom of the first page, there's 3 possibilities for version. 21H1, 21H2, and 23H2. At the bottom of page 1, on the handout, that's not on the screen. I'm going to get out of this right now. Go back to here, so I got more room. And what you do is you hold down the Windows key and you hit the letter R for run. So you hold the Windows key and hit the letter R. And then down here at the bottom, notice, first of all, this little window, I don't know if I can move it. Yeah, I can. Good. Move it up to the middle of the screen. Some of these windows that pop up like this, you cannot move them at all. But this is called the run window. And right here, there's something I was doing on this computer that I don't want to try and explain. And this is what I had to type in. But I'm going to get rid of that. And what I tell you to type in is WINVER. That's a short notation for Windows version. And they called the program that does this WINVER. So I click OK, and this other window pops up. So the first line, Microsoft Windows, version 23H2. The reason why I want to do this, if you don't have 23H2, you're behind updating your computer. You're a long ways behind if you've got Windows 11. Now, if you've got, what do you have? That's what you want. Right, so you're updated, yes. Right. And you got to go in, yeah, you need to get it, need to go into update and update it. But you have to have 23, I don't know, let me see. Does that work? Somewhere in there, if you have 21H1, what I'm going to do just doesn't work. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Yeah, 22H work on everything on this handout. But you need to find that out. Because if you're not at 23H2, you're behind updating the versions on your computer. A real quick look. You all know how to get the updates, don't you? You open the settings window. The shortcut to the settings window, I know all these shortcuts because I like the keyboard better than the mouse. Shortcut to get to the settings window is hold the window key down. Whoops. And while you're holding it down, hit the letter I. I don't know why they came up with I for settings. But the settings window, notice the top row over on the right is Windows Update. Underneath that, I keep getting this. Never lose access. Add a recovery phone number to make sure you can always get back to your account. They give you a way out of it. You just click on X if you don't want to do that. I don't do that. But I click on Windows Update. So I actually point at Windows Update and I click on it. And I hope something happens here. Dang it, it didn't. Okay. There is an update. You need to read them before, you don't just click on them and start doing them. Unless the computer's already doing those. But I read them. If it has the word preview in it, if the update has the word preview in it, out at the far side, it's not going to have a word like install. It's going to have something called download and install. And there's also going to be an X there. A preview means they're using you as a guinea pig. They don't know if this thing works completely on all the computers out there. So they're letting you test it for them. So when I see something that says preview on it, I do not install it. That's happening to every computer in the lab right now. And every time I go into update, I just X out. I'm gonna wait, eventually it's gonna be a regular download something. But until then, I don't want to fool with it. All right, I just wanted to show you that.
All three of those. saved.
All three of these are not
So you
previews.
installed those.
I would install these, yes, but not now. All right. Okay, on page 2. Yes,
I understood it, the first two digits was the year of the version. Is that the same anymore?
yes.
Why would they not have a 24?
They haven't done an update this year.
Over 7 months into the
Yes.
year.
They have not done a major update this year. It's going to happen. Might happen in January or February next year, but it will happen. Yeah, the first 2 digits is the year that was released.
And does the next digit mean anything?
Not really. Oh, it's there was I think there was a 23H1.
Oh,
So this is the second update in year 2023.
But they're different builds. I don't know what that means though.
They've changed things, they've added things. They've really added something.
Corrected things maybe.
They've corrected things. Whoops. Opening up File Explorer again. And I'm on page 2. Now, you can watch what I do, or you can ignore it. And then I'll tell you why I've done it when we get a little bit farther on. But what I do is I go to the 3 dots, which is see more. And I go down to options. So I click on options. And this crazy window opens up. Put it over here where it's a little bit clearer. The first thing I do is open with what? If you open this, it opens with this PC. Notice it says that's the folder it opens with. Notice up here at the top, it says this PC. This is every device that's plugged into this PC. Remember in Windows 10, it gave you the devices and folders. Doesn't do that anymore. It just gives you the things you've plugged in. If I plugged a thumb drive in, that would show up here because I plugged it into the computer. It does not show any of the main folders like it did in Windows 10.
Did you choose to go to devices and drives to show this? I got lost in there somewhere.
No, I wouldn't go to devices. If I want to see this, I just open this up. I open up File Explorer. I'm in File Explorer now. And I clicked on the 3 dots. All right. What I want to do is I've got a OneDrive. I've got 2 OneDrive folders on my computer. One of them is my personal one, and one of them is for CKCS because I'm always doing stuff at home that I need access to our files. But I have 4 choices. You at home might only have 2. You might only see home in this PC. If you have a OneDrive opened up and you're using it as personal, it'll say OneDrive M, my initial, and personal. OneDrive is CKCS Lab. It's really CKCS Admin. I can't get it to change the label because it's really the admin OneDrive. for administration here. What?
Too many letters, they only give you 11, don't they?
Yeah, well, I want to open this with home. So I click on home. The other thing I do, the next thing, browse folders. Ah, shoot, did the wrong thing. Right here. I want to leave that alone. Open each folder in the same window. I don't know if you remember when the original Windows came out. Every time you opened a new window would pop up. And all of a sudden you'd have 10 or 15 windows on your screen. And it was ridiculous. And then they came up with the option to put them all in the same folder, same location. So each one just goes on top of the other one. So you don't see two folders. So I leave that alone. The next one is click items. You can change the double click to single click. That's another course. Unless you want to try it on your own. For privacy, show recently used files. Default has a check mark in it. This right here, this privacy part is what you're going to see when you open home. So when you open this in home, you will see recently used files. I don't like that. I mean, this is me personally. So guess what? This is where you're going to have to decide. I got rid of that check mark by clicking on it. Show frequently used folders. I don't want to see the most frequently used folders come up. I did this at first, and all of a sudden my home screen was full with all this stuff, and I couldn't figure out what I was looking for. Found a better way to use it. So I got rid of that check mark. The last one doesn't have a check mark. I didn't put one in it. And then this last thing where it says clear the history, I clicked on clear. You won't see anything happen. But what that does is it clears out what will appear on the home screen. And if you don't like it, you can come in here and restore defaults. Go back to where you were at the beginning. Yes.
Show file from office.com.
From what?
It's show file from office.com.
Is that one of the choices?
Yes, that's one of the choices.
Is there a check mark in it?
Yes.
I get rid of all those check marks.
It shows the one like you did first, and
Yeah.
the next one, and then it's got
The
that.
third, right. I would get rid of all those check marks and privacy.
Opened up. Okay.
All right, that's okay. This is my opinion. You can go back and put them in there and see what happens. All right. Before you leave, you got two choices here. You can click on OK. Oh, you could cancel what you just did, or you can apply it. Now, apply means apply what you've done, but keep the folder open. OK means, OK is two steps. It applies the changes you've made and it closes this window. That's what OK means. It means apply it, then close the window. I want to apply this. I don't want to close this window because I want to go on to another tab. And that's the little square underneath this that goes on, and I say, on the View tab, I recommend the following changes. This is on the second page. So I click on Apply. And then I go up to the top, and there's a General tab, a View tab, come on, and a Search tab. Click on the View tab. And you get all these choices. So the first one, display, put a check in the square in front of display the full path in the title bar. Oh, right here. Now, some people don't want to see the whole thing. I do. This is a decision you got to make. This one, it just shows you how to get there, shows you the whole path. So I put a check mark in that because I want to see the full path. I want to see all the folders this thing is in. So I put a check mark there. Notice I got a check mark there now. Remove the check in front of hide extensions. Well, remove, it should be a check mark. It's don't show, oh, wait a minute. Hide, oh, we already changed it. We changed it under what? View. It's one of the things there. But if there's a check mark there, the check mark means you would hide the extensions. Make sure there's no check mark in that square. Come on, there we go. Put a check in the square in front of use check boxes. You got to scroll down to see it. All these are in alphabetical order. Use check boxes to select items. Make sure there's a check mark in front of that. And then once you made sure of all these things, now we're done. So now you click on OK. And this window disappears. But I'm still in. Now, where did I say I wanted to open this? I wanted to open it in where? In home. I want to use the home screen. Well, obviously this one opened in this PC, but I opened this screen before I changed it. So changing it to open in home doesn't change what's already open. It changed the future. So I'm going to get out of this. I X out of it. And then I open File Explorer again. And now look at the top. It opens it with home. And here's stuff in home that was not here to begin with. What I did is I looked at everything that was in home already, and if I didn't want it, I got rid of it. And then I started putting things in this. So there's two things you can put in quick access. Oh, in home. The home folder has two categories. One category, oh, this is under number 4 on the last page. One category is quick access. Got to be used. Quick access was in Windows 10. So here's what I do. Okay, I come over here on the navigation pane, and let's go to CKCS, and I want to go to let's go to I don't know, SIG sign-in sheet. Oh, picnic and election files. Let's go in here. I'm going to open this up. All these files from different years, but I want to go back. There is picnic in election files. Next year, this is what I will do. I will find this folder and I will right-click on it. I will right-click on it and I get all these choices. And what I will do is I will pin it to quick access. Now, what did it just do? If I click at the bottom of all my list is Picnic and Election Files folder. So when I open File Explorer, it opens in Home, and the file or the folder I'm working on is right here. So I don't have to go look for it anymore. I just pin it to quick access. It stays here. On another computer at home, I got 2 columns of this stuff. I've got so many things pinned to quick access. But any folder, downloads, document, pictures, music, and videos were already in the home screen. So I didn't remove them, I left them. But right here, this 2024-03 fall. Oh, is that what I wanted? If I click on that, yeah. These are all the flyers. So these are the files I created and used to create that 2-page flyer you've got. They're all in here. When I was working on this like 4 or 5 days in a row. I didn't want to have to go look for it. So what did I do? I pinned that folder to the home screen. So that folder, 2024-03 fall, don't worry about my notation. The first notation is the year. The 03 is the third flyer I've created this year. What? Spring, summer, and fall. So 3 means fall. And dummy me, I put the word fall there and I don't need it. But I'm done with it. So do I need it in home anymore? No. So when I'm finished with it, on the home screen, I right-click on it, and it says unpin from quick access. So when I click on it, it's not here anymore. It's where it doesn't leave where it's originally stored. So right here, tonight, 2024-08, August 13th. That's this SIG right now. Open it up, all the things I used and things I had to do, the handout, the newsletter article I have to do, and I just keep but I don't have to go look for it. It's on my home screen. When I am done with it, I go to the home. Now, that right there, up here at the top, if I look up here at the top, it tells me where it's really located. It's located on my OneDrive, my personal. It's in the CKCS folder, in the folder called SIGS. So if I didn't put it here, dang it. If it wasn't, let me go back to home again. Point at it at home. I clicked on it by mistake. In home, it doesn't tell you where it's at until I click on it. Until I really open it up. When you open it up, then it starts telling you where it's really located. So the home screen keeps me from going out and looking for it every time I need to work on it. I'm done with it now. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to right click on it. Come on. And I'm going to unpin it. And then it disappears from this. The only thing I don't like is I can't take these and I can't drag it somewhere. It wants to copy it when I start moving it. I don't want to copy it anywhere. I'd like to move this item somewhere else in this list, but I can't. They go in and they stay in the order you put them in this. The big one I have, I'm in an organization called Mended Hearts. And this thing is starting to get ugly. I mean, that's just the main file. It's just, I can go on newsletters. I mean, it just keeps going on and on forever. I want to go back home. But I'm working with that 2 or 3 times every week. But this is what I like about it. I can put things I'm working on all the time here, and I keep my main folders here, just to be safe. Now, favorites. You can pin some of your favorites here, but favorites are files. Favorites are files, not folders. Quick access are folders. Favorites are your files. So I've got a store class enrollment file here, which I can open. Come on. And that right there, we had 20 people sign up for classes so far. Well, 29 really, because we got that advanced independent digital imaging that meets forever. All right. But that's our classes. That's the fall 2024. If I click on summer 24, I've got everybody signed up for a class then. This file is on that main computer back there in the back of the room. It's the office computer. But I've got it set up on that computer so you can't change it back there. Yes,
If you have something on quick access, how do you get it off there?
I did that. You right click
You
and
did?
say unpin. Same thing for favorites. If you got something in favorites, let me see. Let's go here.
Right click and unpin.
Okay, right here. I'm gonna put this in my favorites. This one right here. So I'm gonna right click on it, and it's going to say add to favorites. So you don't pin it to favorites, you add it to favorites. If I go back to home, that picture's now there. So I want to get rid of it. I'm done with it. I right click on it and I remove from favorites. So you add and remove for favorites and you pin and unpin for quick access. But to me, this is something they've given me a way to organize what I work on. And then when I'm done working on it, that right there was the June 11th. That was last month, or 2 months ago when Paul did this. I'm going to unpin that. Picnic and election files, we're not ready for that. I'm going to right click on it and unpin picnic and election files. So this thing is constantly growing and shrinking depending upon what I'm working on. All right. Now, do you all know what that plus sign means? You got to have 22H2 or 23H2 for this to show up in File Explorer. This is something they added. I can click on that plus symbol, and it's just like using a browser. If you see that plus, you can actually go to someplace else on the internet on that other page. So right here, I can go here. Let's see. I can come into music. Folder's empty. Gosh, I thought I brought everything over. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to do it. Go back. Home. Let's see. Okay. File management class. This thing called screenshots. I can what? Click on that and come up here and say what? Copy. So now it puts it where? On a clipboard. I can then come up and click on this first one right here. Click on that. Now notice right here, this is the second one's looking at C users, CKCSE OneDrive, CKCS. That's the drive it's looking at to see all this stuff. But here, I'm just looking at the home folder, and I'm going to come into this folder called backup. And what I can do now is I can go to paste, and I can paste what I copied from what? Second tab, and I'm going back to the first tab and pasting it. So these tabs stay open. So if I go to backup and then come right here and say paste, there's screenshots. And now it's in the backup folder. If you want to open up a third tab, you start all over at home again. Every time you open up a tab, you start at the beginning. So where do you want to go? Where do you want to, let's see. I don't want to open, why not? Tai Chi. Tai Chi 13 form. Let's see. This one right here. Highlight it, copy it. Go to the second tab. I'm looking at what in the second tab? I'm looking at file management class. I really don't want this in here, but I'm just going to show you what happens when I click on paste. Screenshot. Oh, it's doing screenshots again. You know what's wrong? There's too many things on the clipboard. I've got a clipboard. I can put 10, 15 things on it if I want to. So what I do is I click in here where I want it. And then I hold the Windows key down and hit the letter V. And there's nothing on the clipboard. Why in the world? Let's do this again. Let's go back to my last one. Highlight this. Copy. Go to the second tab. What's going on? It closed one of my tabs. I had 3 open. That's the third one right there. Why did it erase the second one? I didn't click on
How
anything.
many can you have open?
I don't know.
Maybe you didn't save it.
No, I said copy it. Where was I? Oh, let me go to Tai Chi. Tai Chi, that one right there. I want to I want to copy. Then I want to go to this third one, which is showing me the home screen. I don't think I can paste it here. Nope, I can't. See, paste is what? Grayed out. The only way I can get things on the home screen is by what?
Creating the file.
No, by adding adding or pinning it. I can pin to the home screen and I can add to the home screen, but I can't copy there. All right. So I can open up as many tabs as I want. And then once you X out File Explorer, I X out of every one of them, start over again, open up File Explorer, and I'm back where I started. And that right there is creating new tabs. That's something they added. I love it when I'm doing searching on the internet in Chrome. I don't know, name your browser. I'll be looking for something. I find it. I open another tab and say reviews of whatever I found. show me reviews. On my next tab reviews come up. Start reading them. If they're good, I'll order them, whatever it is, if I want it. But I don't have to, like you used to have to exit out and open it up again or type over what was there to get to the next the tab you want to. But now you can open up new tabs. On this, I haven't checked to see if it works. But what I do, I've got a second screen plugged into my home computer, and it's on about 80% of the time. When I'm browsing, I can drag the second tab over to the other screen. And I did not test to see if you could drag the second tab that's in File Explorer over to the next screen. So you have them on two separate screens. And you can go back and forth, back and forth. Seems like it would work. If you've done it, okay. All right, now, for those of you that don't like this, and you want to go back and see the ribbon, first of all, you open File Explorer. Then what you do is you open a search. So down on my taskbar, I click in this little search window, or you could click on the Windows key. The Windows key opens up your start screen, but notice where the cursor is. The cursor is blinking right now in the search window. So what I do is I start typing. Control panel. Oh, there it is. And what I do is I open it. Two ways to open it. Since it's at the top of the left column, if you click on it, it'll open it. Or you come over here and you open it. Doesn't matter. So you hit Control Panel. Now, I don't care what you see when you open this. What's down here at the bottom doesn't matter. It's what's up here at the top. See that up arrow? Right there. You double click on it. I'm now in File Explorer. There's my ribbon. All right. So it's there. You just don't see it until you ask it to show up. The problem with this is if you X out of this, got to X out again. If I open up File Explorer, it does not open with the ribbon. You got to start it up again. So every time you start it up, you have to come down here and, oh, come on. Oh, I'm just going to hit the Windows key. That's the easiest way to get to the start window. Type in Control Panel again. But I do something a little bit different, because if I'm going to use this over and over again, I don't want to have to type Control Panel in every time I do this. So what you do is you come over to Control Panel and you right click on it. And you say pin it to the taskbar. So you say pin it to the taskbar. And notice it just put it right there on the taskbar. So now, what do? I open File Explorer, I come down to the taskbar, and I click on my Control Panel icon just one time, and then go up and double click on the up arrow. And there I am. somebody suggested, instead of doing it that way, open up a second tab right here. Now go through the steps. Control panel, double click on the up arrow, and notice this. And if you move this, you get back. So now, what would I do with this? I'd put it on my second screen, and then I'd have my regular file explorer where I could go and locate something, and I could still, but once you exit out of it, it's gone. I looked at other methods of doing this where you could do it permanently. There are some files you can run, and it will make the changes inside your computer such that when you open File Explorer, it automatically comes up with the ribbon. But then you don't have extra tabs. With the ribbon, there are no extra tabs. You get one screen and that's it. The kicker on using a program to change the internal parts of your computer a little bit, so it comes up with a ribbon all the time, is once they do an update, they can make some changes where that little program thing doesn't work anymore. Well, when I was experimenting with this one program, it didn't work. Microsoft did some upgrades, but this program came out a long time ago. It doesn't work anymore. And the people have not offered an upgrade. There's another one, you pay for it. Pay $5 for it. Supposedly, if they modify it and his program doesn't work anymore, he will fix it and send you the new one. I'm not going to give somebody $5 to find out. To me, it's not worth it. I started out saying it's a learning curve. The more you use it, the more you get used to it. And I'm at the point where I don't think about it anymore. I don't miss the ribbon. Windows 11 came out 2 years ago. I think it was October. I didn't download it right away. A major upgrade like that, I waited 6 months and then I installed it. So I've been using it for 1.5 years. And I just don't think about what I do with File Explorer. All right. Questions? Yes.
There was one of those options where you recommend the show the file path,
Yes.
display the full file path in the title bar.
Yes.
Title bar of the of a file,
No.
or just in that
Let's see.
window dialog box that
I
opens
open
up.
something up. Come on, open up. Well, I don't know what it's, I do not know what's going on.
Then that advanced settings.
Yeah, I know. I think. Trying to think of an example. Let's see. I need a file. I don't need to double click. I don't need to open it. It's dumb. I hope it didn't open it. Yeah, it did. But it's in the background. Good. So I've noticed I've highlighted the file up here. In essence, that is where it's really located. Okay. But if you click Let me see. It happened before on something where I clicked on it. Doesn't do it. Sometimes you'll actually see it with the slashes in it.
Full.
The full file path, yes.
So if the box is not checked.
You'll never
it's
see,
not
you'll
gonna
see
fit in the
this.
file,
You will see this, but you'll never see the one that has the slashes in it, which is really the official file path. And I mean, it usually starts off with the username, which is what you used when you set up your computer, as a folder. All right, any other questions?
Mike, it's Janet. My desktop says it will not upgrade to Windows 11. So do I buy a whole new CPU? Is there just some sort of
No,
thing you put
if
in?
it won't
you put
install Windows
inside?
11, there's nothing you can do other than rebuilding your whole computer from scratch to get it to work.
Okay,
You might as well just buy another computer.
okay.
All right.
And how long?
I've got a Windows 10 laptop at home that I use I bought it in 2013. So it's 11 years old and it's still running Windows 10 beautifully,
Yeah,
but it will not upgrade to Windows 11. So that's why I bought a Windows 11 laptop for my home use. This computer I'm using right now would upgrade.
Mhm.
So I didn't have to buy another computer to replace it. It upgraded. But
How
if
much
it says
longer
it
is
cannot install Windows 11, and you want to go to you got one more year left.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. How much longer? Okay,
It's a year.
okay.
And then after that, you play Russian roulette by continuing to use it. But I know people still using Windows 7.
Yeah.
So they're just playing Russian roulette.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, Mike, what was the 1 year? That's 1 year that Microsoft will continue to support Windows 10?
Yes,
So after that, no more support for Windows 10, huh?
well, they'll do it for businesses.
Right.
You're not a business.
No. So basically you're saying after a year, I'm pretty much forced to upgrade to Windows 11.
Or you can just hang on to it and keep, going
Yeah.
and hope
But it's-
nothing happens.
Right. I see what you're
And
saying though.
people I know that are still running Windows 7 or XP, they have not had anything happen to them.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it's
Like you said, it's a roll of the dice. You got to
a
feel
roll of the dice,
right. It all depends how lucky you feel.
right?
Yeah.
I actually found instructions, and I don't remember where I've got them now, of how to change an old Windows 10 computer that cannot be upgraded into what is called a Chromebook, which is what they're using in every school in the Fayette County system. Every student has a Chromebook that they recharge. They got carts with rechargers in them, and they stick them in there at night, and they're charged the next morning. And some of I've visited several elementaries, and the kids carry that thing around with them all day. So, and I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm curious. But a Chromebook, you do everything in the cloud. Nothing's done on the computer itself. Well, it's done on the computer, but everything is in the cloud that you use. Storage is in the cloud. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to try that or not. Any other questions? I have not looked ahead at what the topic will be next month. I gotta look at what some people sent and decide. The problem is I only got 3 or 4 topics sent in to me. And I need more things to talk about. I know October I will not have a meeting already. I think I will be at that time in South Korea or on my way home from there. So. All right. Thank you all for coming.